Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be doing another playing catch-up video for you guys. This is my second video in this series, and I will link the first one down below where I reviewed and talked about Rebel Belle. But basically in this series I want to take, good books that I am a little bit behind reading wise that I own on my shelf and talk about them, talk about the hype around them, and talk about my thoughts on them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and let's jump into it. The book I am going to be talking about today is Splintered by A.G. Howard. I know this book probably doesn't have a ton of hype, but I know a lot of people have owned this book for a while, and I know a lot of people have talked about it and talked about the covers, talked about the story. I know there's mixed reviews out there about it, so I thought I would pick this one because I got a lot of great reception whenever I did my Top 5 Wednesday video, like last week, an old Top 5 Wednesday topic that I did a week ago or so. So I thought I would pick this one because, yeah, a lot of people were saying that they really liked it. So I thought I would jump in and read it. So this book follows Alyssa, and she is a descendant of Alice, who inspired Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland stories, and in this world that is all common knowledge. Her great-great-great-grandmother inspired the stories, and Lewis Carroll wrote the story based on Alice's adventures in Wonderland and falling down the rabbit hole and all those things. A lot of people think that her great-great-grandmother is crazy, and a lot of her family members, especially female family members, are in mental institutions or have gone crazy. Alyssa's mom is currently in a mental institution for certain things that she does, certain outbreaks that she has, and certain traits that she has that people think is crazy. For example, talking to flowers and bugs, or claiming Alice's adventures were all true and not fiction, and those types of things. And she has outbursts, and she has been in a mental institution for a while. Allison also suffers with these, delusions that she's talking to flowers and insects, and she also has this fear that she's going to go crazy like her mother. All about her dealing with that, and a little bit of Adventures in Wonderland, because you can't have an Alice in Wonderland retelling without Wonderland. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and I think that is the majority of the premise of it, and I'm going to jump in and talk about it. Okay, so my thoughts on this are a little bit mixed. The first half of this book, the first about 150 to 200 pages, I was hooked. I could not leave it alone. I was reading it everywhere I went. I remember I was running errands and I was taking it with me. I was reading it in the store, I was reading it in the car, I was reading it everywhere for like 2 days. I couldn't put it down. It was great. The whole intrigue with Alyssa being mentally unstable and her mother being mentally unstable was fascinating for me. I just, for some reason, gobbled it up. I really wanted to know how it was going to play out, and obviously as the reader we kind of know that, she's not really mentally unstable. What she's seeing and doing and hearing is all real, but Alyssa trying to struggle with that was just a fascinating journey, and I loved it. We meet this character named Jeb early on in the story, and Jeb was an interesting character. He surprised me in a lot of ways. I really liked his character. I really love the best friend character, and that's what he plays, and he's kind of like a romance aspect, love interest aspect in the story. Not too heavy. I don't think that this focuses too heavy on the romance, at least not in the beginning. We have to get a little bit further in for there to be any huge development towards that, but there's definitely a strong connection between Jeb and Alyssa, and I really enjoyed that connection. Really angsty, really good, and I really liked it. We get thrown into this, alternate world, underworld, under Wonderland, and we meet this other guy character named Morpheus, and there's some intrigue there, there's some love interests there, so this kind of has a little bit of a love triangle aspect to it. Not super love triangle-y. I think the main character has feelings for both men, but I don't think both men are, equal love interests. Then we also get her mom and her dad in the mix. Their character development is a little bit less prevalent throughout the story, but it's definitely there. The dad character was really interesting. I really liked his character. He was very endearing, but also very ignorant at the same time, and very sad character. He lost his wife to mental illness, and he he really still loves his wife. So that was all very interesting, and I really loved seeing that aspect and, you know, looking into that and playing with that a little bit. And yeah, Alyssa's mom is a really interesting character. She was very fascinating throughout the whole book. She was mentioned, and a lot of what she did was really just, I don't know, it was really cool, and I really love the play on, is she really sane? Is she really doing the things that she needs to do for Alyssa? And there's always that balance throughout the story that we have to struggle with, and I really liked exploring that. We also have a few side characters. One character that I really wish was more developed and more prevalent in the story was her best friend, which I'm pretty sure her name is Jin or Ginny. Jin. Okay, yeah, they call her Jin. She's Jebediah's sister, and she is involved in the beginning of the story, not so much throughout the story, and I really wish we would have saw more of her. I think it would have been really cool if she got to go on the adventure with Alyssa. That would have been really cool, a really cool addition to the story, but we didn't, and that's okay. But yeah, that was one thing that I, you know, thought we could do more on, is, you know, developing Jin's character and having the friendship between Alyssa and Jin a little bit more developed, because it's just there, it's not necessarily super, you know, developed. So yeah, the world in this book is really interesting. Underworld is really fascinating. I really enjoyed it. I think that it was really whimsical and dark, super Alice in Wonderland inspired, Tim Burton inspired. Yeah, I know that the author definitely has those inspirations even throughout the book. You know, she has thank you notes and stuff to them, and both, you know, Lewis Carroll and Tim Burton talking about how, you know, they inspired this story, and I think that is really awesome. I definitely saw that influence, and very, very Tim Burton inspired, and it was really cool to see it and feel it. I will say about 100 pages of this book, mostly towards the end, was a little bit slow for me, and you know, wasn't super intriguing. We were finding things more about Underland, and I lost that appeal of all the mental illness and, you know, more main character focused. We started to be more world focused, and yeah, as much as I love the world, I definitely would have loved to see more main character. You know, mental health issues just fascinate me, and so when we lost that aspect to it, it definitely hurt the story for me. Not a lot, but it definitely did. So that was an issue that I had about 100 pages. I had like 100 pages left, and I remember just thinking, ugh, where is all the good stuff at? But yeah, that was, yeah, just a little thing. And yeah, the writing style in this book though was really interesting. I will say it's a little clunky. Things didn't necessarily flow like how you would imagine a book like this to flow. It was definitely like, you know, throwing. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like one sentence and then the other and then the other. It wasn't like a smooth transition through it all. So there was some issues with that as well, but minor issues, and I think overall the writing style is really whimsical and dark and really cool. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I really liked the world. I really liked the characters. I'm really excited to move on to the next book in the series and see how it develops even more. But yeah, this one was definitely, I'm super glad that I picked this one up because yeah, I really enjoyed it and it was really good. Now let's talk about my thoughts on the hype. Now, like I said, the hype on this book is a little bit mixed. I know a lot of people haven't read it, own it, haven't read it. I know a lot of people have read it and disliked it, and I know a lot of people who have read it and loved it. So there's mixed hype surrounding it. I think that this is a solid book. I think that it's fun and, you know, kind of actiony, really introspective, and really different than some of the other books that I've been reading recently. It was definitely a great refresher, so that was really great. And yeah, I super enjoyed it, like I said, and I think it is definitely worth the hype, or it deserves some hype. That's what I would say. It deserves some hype. I don't know if it's like the next, you know, Alice in Wonderland, but it's definitely really good, and yeah, I think a lot of people would enjoy this story. So if you haven't picked this up yet, I recommend you do, just to give it a try and see if it's your thing. I understand if it's not, because it might not be everybody's thing, but it was definitely my thing. Alright guys, that's all that I have for this video. I know I talked a lot about this book, but I really had some thoughts on it, and I really wanted to get them out. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you guys thought of Splintered, if you plan on picking it up, if you don't plan on picking it up, if you have, what were your thoughts on it, and I would be happy to discuss it in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Read more books.